But yeah, speaking of flags and all that, there's a huge story breaking now. There's actually a very big story breaking now. Um, and it has. I guess when this episode will be coming out, I will feel much better. But it's about my favorite sports team on earth, Manchester United. Okay, I just gotta give a backstory. We, for the last 6 months, have been doing perfect. We have been on a perfect run. We've been scoring goals. Rashford has been doing a lot of, like good stuff. If you don't know Rashford, he's one of the best players in the world. Anyway, Manchester United has been awesome. We got a new coach. He turned things around. The mood, like those dark days are gone. I've been feeling awesome. And then Liverpool, on the other hand, have been having one of the most terrible seasons. And then, something happens where we go to the worst team in the Premier League and then they beat us 7-0. Okay, for those few people who don't watch football, that is not normal. 7-0 is like getting pro footballers versus it's almost like putting the Kansas City Chiefs versus a bunch of high school flag football players. That's how bad it is. Like I don't know, even in terms of like that would be 49 to nothing in well yeah, because a touchdown is 6 points plus the yeah, so that's 7, so that's 49 points. That's how bad that game was. It's almost like what Georgia did to TCU, except people knew Georgia was gonna win. This was different. P- no one predicted Liverpool to win, and no one even thought they would win by that much. Um, and so yeah, it's tattooed in there. It's burnt into my brain. And this is what Marcus Rashford actually does. Our star player, wherever he scores, he does this. Maybe he was screwing it in there because we got beat 7-0. And, I cannot stand that. Like, Liverpool are our biggest, like, rivals. And for them to beat us 7-0, I'm telling you, it was the 7 stages of grief. It started, 1-0. I'm like, well, we're going to bounce back. Then 2-0, I'm like, oh, wow, we can still 2-0 is a dangerous score. Very, somebody scores one and then they're back in the game. And then 3-0, I'm like, all right, yeah, we need to be serious. 4-0, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm not watching it. Am I 5-0? Oh my goodness. At that point I'm like, just defend and don't let them score anymore. I'm like, just do everything. Every player I would have wished to play was playing. I'm like, just do something. 5-0 is already that bad. And my phone is like ringing, because all the Arsenal fans who are now top of the league are like, bantering me. And I'm like, oh my goodness. 6-0? I'm gonna tell you, for I think since 2011, 2011, ever since 2011, I have never missed a Manchester United game except once when my dad died. Every ever since that time, I have never missed a menu game, and I turned off the game when they scored 60 for the first time ever. I could not stand it because I was like, oh my goodness. So then I turned off my phone and I was like, it was like 30 minutes to go. I'm like, it was 30 minutes to go. They scored 6 goals. They scored 1 goal in the first half. They scored the rest in the second half. Listen, that was like the worst day ever. And the funny thing is, I didn't even feel that bad. I just couldn't watch it because I knew how good we'd been, and then that happens. I was like, oh my, what can you do, And then now when I turned it back on, it was 7. I was like, oh, just let the game end. That whistle at the end was a relief. But anyway, that happens, but it didn't need to happen that bad. Um, and then now we've bounced back, but I'm still feeling it. I'm still feeling the pain of us losing 7-0 to Liverpool. It just it doesn't help.